Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right. Yep. Turns out we've got a player that turned down $8 million -ies. We're going to talk about LaNorris Sellers. Also, the Big Ten has clapped back at Diego Pavia, Mr. Brett Bielema. But as you know, I never bury the lead. We got to talk about LaNorris Sellers. Tons of stories out here that he turned down $8 million NIL to play elsewhere. Now, my understanding that was for a 2-year deal, so that'd have been $4 million a year. I totally believe that, and I reported that back in the day, and man, did I take grief over it. Woo! We'll talk about that in a minute. But he had a really nice season, freshman of the year, redshirt freshman of the year, that is. 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He ran the ball beautifully, and he's the third freshman ever to run for 500 yards and throw for 2,500, which includes Johnny Manziel and Jalen Hurts. That's a pretty good grouping to be in when it comes to talent. And Sellers' father told The Athletic that his son fetched an NFL offer for around $8 million for 2 years. Said he was offered all kinds of crazy numbers. I told him he could say, I'm going to stay or I'm going to go. He said, the whole goal was to get a scholarship, play ball, get a degree, and go on about our business. So the NIL deal came later. We didn't come here to make money. We came here to get an education and play ball. And he said, with schools calling, we're not going to jump ship just because they're offering more than what we're getting. He said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're 19, you don't need $8 million. You're in a great spot. So that's pretty impressive, and that's obviously some excellent parenting of explaining, look, he's going to get the big money in the NFL. His ability to scramble is better than anything I've ever seen. It's right up there with the very best of all time. Now, his throwing style could use a little bit of work, but he improved dramatically last year. When he started out, he looked like crap, but he could run. But all throughout the year, he started throwing it better and better. And he still makes some awful throws occasionally, but he also makes some throws where you're going, dang, that guy could be an all-pro. So I'm not a bit shocked by it. And as a matter of fact, I actually warned South Carolina about this, and man, did I take grief over it. And that was this video, talk of Sellers transfer and all of that I did back, 6 months ago. So here I am trying to do South Carolina a favor, even though they don't deserve it after what they did with conspiring possibly with Connor Stallions,
the sign stealer guy,
stealing our signs in 2022.
Allegedly.
But hey, I got a servant's heart, trying to be helpful. And what do I get? I get kicked in the shins.
Don't think the Carolina jackpot is not here also laughing on the inside at one Sports Talk Jay and taking a little bit of a victory lap. Remember when he uploaded this? Remember when he uploaded this video back in like December or January? LaNorris Sellers transfer portal rumors. There had no damn transfer portal rumors surrounding LaNorris Sellers.
You sure about that?
He puts this ridiculous video out saying that there's strong rumors that LaNorris Sellers is connected with Auburn and this, that, and the other. No, nobody ever heard that. I asked multiple people.
So instead of getting a thank you for, hey, thanks for the heads up, we were able to sit him down, get him squared away with a really nice NIL offer. And I told the truth. He was getting big time offers. Auburn, I'm sure, was one of them. But no thanks, none whatsoever. I did the exact same thing for Alabama. After everything they've done to us over the years, I try to help Alabama out, given their quarterback situation. And that was this video, odd man out at Alabama, and I was giving them a warning that I thought they might lose one of their quarterbacks. And that was Austin Mack, because look, it's hard to keep 3 good quarterbacks. And because I gave them a warning, they were able to sit him down, get him squared away, and they kept all 3 of them. Did I get any thanks for it?
Oh, and don't let me forget, Sports Talk Jay, where you at with all your thoughts on this? I mean, it's been I ain't gonna say 2 days, but a day and a half, and we ain't heard nothing out of you concerning this, Sports Talk Jay. Where you at? I mean, you spoke on my Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback situation, talking about an odd man out. You spoke on Florida quarterback situation, DJ Lagway, that's not throwing this spring. You spoke on that. You spoke on Ohio State this offseason. You done spoke on them Georgia Bulldogs this offseason. Well, what's going on? You ain't speaking on what's going on at Tennessee and your quarterback wanting all this damn money when he ain't earned it. Sports Talk, Jay, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. And by the way, for everybody who watched this video, go over to Sports Talk Jay's channel and subscribe. The guy he's got a great channel.
All right, so he was kind to me at the end, but he called me out big time. And what that was all about, that was when Nico left because, see, he wanted $4 million a year, and he didn't get it.
No. No.
Yeah, we didn't give him the $4 million. We'll find out over the next 6-7 months whether or not that was a good move or not. But the way they handled themselves, trying to change the offense and just going around behind our back up there at Oregon and whoever would possibly give them $4, that didn't sit well with anybody at Tennessee. But yeah, both of them called me out big time. Even though, what did I do? I helped them. I helped South Carolina keep Sellers. I helped Alabama keep Austin Mack. And what thanks do I get? I get called out on the mat. So look, when you have a servant's heart, this happens. Sometimes you just gotta, turn the other cheek and, just keep doing the best you can to help others. And if you don't get thanked, look, you don't do it for the thanks. You do it because it's in your heart to be kind to other teams.
Liar!
And I think I've proven that over and over. Okay, I might be tacking on just a little bit, but I did save their butts. Certainly I did South Carolina. Anyway, on to the next story. As many of you know, Diego Pavia ran that mouth yesterday. Well, not yesterday. It was a few days ago on Bussin' Boys. And he pretty much made it clear that he's going to be running the state of Tennessee from now on. Vanderbilt will. And he's gotten the ball rolling for him.
Vanderbilt's going to run Tennessee after this year.
And Tennessee's now going to be second in the state of Tennessee, which you got to love the moxie. You just, it's hilarious. I wonder if anybody will remind him of that the week before Vanderbilt plays Tennessee at Neyland. I wonder if I'll remind him of it. Anyway, he also talked smack about the Big Ten. And I'll let you hear that.
Any Big Ten teams trying to get you?
You want to play with the best. You don't want to play with the Big Ten.
Well, needless to say, Brett Bielema didn't appreciate that. And as you know, Brett never takes anything lightly. He certainly didn't appreciate it when Shane Beamer did his little trick play on him where they pretended they were down the ball on a kickoff. And it didn't work. But Bielema didn't appreciate it because he thought it was unethical. A team lets up so you don't have injuries. And Shane Beamer goes out of his way to try to trick him, so that didn't go over well. And Beamer went nuts. Oh, my gosh. That's the thing about Beamer. He is entertaining as crap. Whether you like him, dislike him, whatever, when he's coaching, he's going to say something, he's going to do something, and it always makes news.
It's kind of the story of the night. Clock was wrong the whole game. We're trying to kick an onside kick to start the second half, and we got to wait on the chain crew because they're eating a hot dog. That's the only disappointing thing about tonight. So
the man's a hoot. Anyway, Brett Bielema responded to Diego Pavia's comment. Let you hear that.
I understand what he's saying, right? And he's regurgitating what's being said to him, I think, probably. Listen, the Big Ten, I grew up in this league, played in this league, was very successful at Wisconsin, but my first bowl game, we beat an SEC team that I actually ended up working for later, right? I think on any given Saturday, anybody can get anybody, and that was what played out in the bowl game, right? And I know it was brought to my attention, right? There's no SEC returning team with 10 wins, if I'm not mistaken. And we got 3 in the league, right? So it's just kind of one of those moments where I think in the last 3 years, the evolution of college football with the portal, the NIL, it's created a level playing field that's never been seen before. And I think it's trending more that way than going back to the way. A lot of people want to live in the past and try to stay by the rules of the past, and I just don't see it a part of our future.
Yeah, the Big Ten's feeling their oats. I'm just go ahead and tell you, SEC folks, they feel like they're on a level playing field with SEC now. Now, whether or not that's true is arguable, but the fact that we can even have that argument, a few years ago, that was not an argument you could even have. But because of NIL and their TV rights money that they get from Fox Sports, they're in the game big time. And they've won they won the last natty. I don't count Michigan's. That's got a big old it's an asterisk this big as far as I'm concerned.
How dare you!
But they did win last year. Ohio State won that fair and square. And NIL played a huge role. You know, they picked up a bunch of great players from the South. You know, that Jeremiah Smith guy came out of Florida. Caleb Downs came out of Alabama. Picked him up once Saban retired. Best safety I've ever seen. And the best wide receiver I've ever seen. You think 10 years ago you could have pulled that kid out of Florida? No chance. But with NIL, you absolutely can.
Ain't it peculiar how money seems to do that very thing?
So the Big Ten, you know, they're not interested in smack talk. They're going to bring it right back at you.
Roadhouse.
Which actually is really good for football. It's not good for SEC folks. You know, I've been in the SEC. I've been watching SEC my whole life. Been in the SEC. I played in the SEC in the golf team. And let me tell you something. You think you're good until you play in the SEC. Good grief. I mean, I was a middle-of-the-road SEC guy. I lived between 4 and 7 on our golf team at UT. And I thought I'd go in there and, you know, be a good player. I was very average. These guys, it's a whole different league. Now, the Big Ten's starting to become that. They're starting to become the big dogs, too. And again, I think that's good for sports. It is. More rivalries, all of that. But anyway, I wanted to let you hear that because Diego really stirred the pot, which I like that kind of crap. I'll be the first to tell you a little bit of this is never a bad idea when you're talking about football, especially football. I mean, smack talking's a huge part of the entertainment of it. Not that I would participate in that. I mean, I don't ever talk smack. But many do, and I don't blame them for it. So anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover all these big college sports stories, which I'll take grief because I try to help out other teams. And right over here is a subscribe button. Will not cost you a dime. Boom, boom, boom. Hit that button. And right over here is most recent video YouTube. Thanks, you'll enjoy. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J. Servant's Heart.